The chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Professor Joash Amopitan, has assured Nigerians that the commission possesses the capacity to electronically transmit election results in 2027. Although he cautioned that 100% election cannot be guaranteed. Amopitan gave the assurance on Sunday during the Citizens Town Hall themed Electoral Hour 2026, what it means for the votes and the 2027 election. Now, he also urged Nigerians to temper expectations, stressing that while INEC should strive to deliver its performance, perfection remains unrealistic. Now, according to his word, let me just appeal to Nigerians, because I have noticed now that what Nigerians desire is a perfect election, and INEC will strive as much as possible to give the country the best. However, we may not be able to achieve a 100% perfect election for now. But as far as electronic transmission of results is concerned, I said it before during the FCT area council elections that we have the capacity to transmit the results and that we're going to transmit the results. The only concern was retime, he said. Now, describing election as the foundation of democratic governance, the INEC chairman underscored the importance of voters' education and transparency. Amopitan disclosed that INEC played an active role in shaping the Electoral Hour 2026, explaining that the review process began after 3 years, though through a joint committee made up of the National Assembly, civil society organization, and also the commission. Now, addressing the long-running debate over electronic transmission of results, which gained prominence after the 2023 general elections, Amopitan revealed that INEC advocated for mandatory transmission during legislative decision and discussion. But with all of these revelations and also frank talk, should Nigerians be happy of his sincerity, or we should be worried of the acknowledgement of a near perfect election? And if yes, what should be done not to make Nigerians' expectations of the election not being free and fair and credible? Well, these and more will take center stage as we count down to the general elections. And that's what we're having as a major discourse today on the show. And we're talking about Nigerians' expectation as it concerns the 2023 general election. That's what we're having as a major discourse today on the show. Like we're talking about, we're having, or rather, we'll be looking at Nigerians' expectation, especially coming after that very statement from no other but the INEC chairman, Joash Amopitan. But anyway, he's right there in Abuja, but we're right here in our lovely studios in Delta State. And to truly help us talk about it, still in the studio is no other person but a member of the civil society organization that was part of that legislative function that dealt with the amendment of the Electoral Hour 2022, now the Electoral Hour 2026 as amended. And we're talking of no other person but a member of the Civil Right for Good Governance and Democracy in Nigeria. And well, anyway, he called himself the Talakawas. Well, anyway, I won't talk whether he's a chairman or president, but I'm talking of no other person but Comrade Emeka Nwokocha. Good morning to you, Comrade Emeka. You're looking really serious this morning. I hope all is well.
Mike, good morning to you.
Welcome to the show. Well, I needed to get a laugh from you because you're looking serious and I was getting scared right there.
I agree. You guys are nice. The circumstances surrounding us as a country tends to extinguish, every ray of joy in the heart of Nigeria. But we are going to resist that,
Anyway, we're alive, and that's enough reason to be joyful. But as much as I would love to get your reaction as it concerns a no perfect election, or not us getting 100%, as he said, as much as I would love that, I rather want to first get your reaction as it concerns this very town hall meeting. This will be one of the first we've had under his rule, and not only that, but one of the most frank coming from an INEC chairman. Should we be expecting more as a build-up to the 2027 general elections?
Yes, sensitization, familiarization.
Okay. With the electorate.
With the electorate, voter.
Critical stakeholders.
Yeah, voter.
A lot of persons were
obviously,
there.
Voter education. I think these are some of the activities, that happen prior, to the real election. Because the people need to be carried along. They need to be properly educated, especially when we have, in quotes, a new electoral law now.
And a new electoral umpire's chairman.
Yes, a new electoral umpire chairman, the person of Joash Amopitan. But the character he brought to play is what I'm trying to interrogate.
Okay. I know you want to dive deep into that, and I'll play with you to hold on.
Yes.
Because as much as we would love to do that, okay, let's not hold it any further. Let's now come to the crux of the matter.
Yeah.
And that is his appeal to Nigerians to manage their expectation. And I rather want to go to his own very words, and so I do not take him out of context. He said we would strive for excellency, but should not or will not promise a perfect election. And should we consider him being in order? And the reason I'm asking this is, he's a human being, and we do know humans are not 100% in their dealings. And INEC is a combination of many persons that are saddled with the responsibility of conducting the election. So, should we not really not happy with him just being too frank about it?
You don't advertise ineptitude. Yeah, you don't advertise it. We seem to be very, very careless about governance. We seem to be very, very nonchalant about electoral processes. If there is a word called democracy, it is built on clean, credible electoral system. And we are practicing constitutional democracy. So for us to be thorough and real as a people, and to be sincere, and to protect the sovereignty of the electorates and Nigerian election must be thoroughly clean. You know, must be sincere, must be transparent, must be credible. So there is no explanation about that.
But must it be 100%?
See, sir.
Can it attain 100%?
See, sir, what I'm saying, the 100% mark there, you don't peg it. What we are saying is that election must, is it a must? In as much as we are practicing democracy, unless you guys are saying, you know, let us do away with the democratic system and choose for ourselves. Are we practicing democracy? Go and read the books. Has there ever been anywhere, you know, there's a capit or there's a clause that tells you that manipulation of the process should be enthroned and adopted as a legal something? No. If you look at the books there, it's all the character behind the writing of those policies is tilted towards transparency in the process. And it is achievable. You know, what is in the election we're talking about, Mike? It's not all about bringing people together on that day. You go and cast your votes. There's only one vote you have to cast. And that is it. The monitoring mechanism we put in queues for our failures, intentional failures. So that is what I am telling you.
So you feel he's shooting the gun?
The issue there is that, for me, if I were him, for him to start advertising failure before the process, you are automatically, you know, erasing every hope that the lotteries are having or reposing on you or reposing on the system. So automatically you are telling them that, see, nothing will change as it will. You are telling them that you don't even have the capacity to guarantee and to assure them that the system will be transparent. So you haven't started the system. You are asking the people, you know, to give you a leverage for failure. It is not what is called. Perhaps I know some persons, you know, speak or act before they think. If he had thought it wisely, he wouldn't have uttered that statement.
Okay,
because that statement is indicting.
I feel for clarity, and I feel for the purpose of our discussion, it's even better we go to his very words rather than taking him out of context. And if you allow me, now he said, let me just appeal to Nigerians because I have noticed now that what Nigerians desire is a perfect election. However, so he said, we may not be able to achieve 100% perfect election for now. So he said, for now. And for now also, he means real time and other issues. Now, that's what he said. That's the very statement coming from him.
Yes.
So we do not take him out of context.
Yeah.
He's not saying he's not going to give us a free, fair, and credible election. He said he will strive to do that. But as much as he's striving to do that, we should put in our hearts, knowing that after the 2022 general election, the expectations even before that election, the expectations from Nigerians were truly high. Now, the issue of the real-time transmission of results dented a major hole, and more like a caveat in the minds of Nigerians, especially after the election. So he understands all of that. He sees all of that. Hence, he's telling us to kuli temper. So would he not be right in doing that?
Is Amopita on the side of Nigerians?
He's a Nigerian.
Okay. Does he believe in a clean electoral process?
He's a chairman.
Does he believe that it is doable and workable and achievable?
That's his job.
If he does believe this, now the issue is that statement shouldn't come, sir. He's looking at it, he's making it to look a little bit Herculean or difficult to achieve by ascribing perfect.
So
Nigerians
he put for perfection.
Nigerians need free and fair election. Remove perfection out of it. What we want is a credible election where the votes of the people will count. Mike, is that impossible? Remove perfection. It's making it become too difficult, complex. No, leave it. We are saying what we need is free and fair election. It's not doable. It's not achievable. So he's only trying to, model up the whole discourse by trying to ascribe perfection to it. Nothing is perfect on earth. So don't bring it into, the terrain of election. We are saying, we are not talking, Nigeria has never told you we want perfect election. Nigeria is telling you that we want credible, free and fair election. You should speak along this line. So that's what I'm telling him. So to force him further, that will tell you that because ordinarily, he should be telling us, and he should be pained that the problem of leadership we have in this country today is a result of the fact that our electoral system is not properly tidied up. He should know that the hunger pang that's the leaders. And who are the bad leaders? People that find themselves, within the corridors of power, through hook or crook, who are not supposed to be there. People that manipulated the system, the electoral system, this system, that close us to get is exactly what we've got over the years. That since 1960 Nigeria got independence to today, poverty has become a national symbol. Not minding how wealthy this country has become over time. So is he happy that the way things are going? And is he not telling us now that this is cannot be remedied? Is he telling us now that the human beings that are corrupt, the human beings that tend, to frustrate the system, that tend to hamstring the system, cannot be checkmated? Is he telling us now that people that have gotten it right in other climes, they are from space? So it's all about our character. It's all about our intentions. It's all about our ability and willingness and preparedness as the people to do something right. And if we are not able to do this, Mr. Mike, see, the sovereignty of this country will continuously be assailed. And the poor leadership we are seeing and the underdevelopment thing we are seeing about this country will continue unabated. So for me, Amopita is not given to be used, to weigh him. Like persons now that prior to his holding that section, that believed in that repose confidence in him, will not be saying that, is this man actually ready to actually clean this audience table? Because the onus lies on him. Mike, do you know he has proposed?
Yes.
To run this election. So if we something, Mike, we are spending, what is the intention of spending the money?
For a free, credible and...
Okay, what are we talking about? So if at the end of the day, Mr. Mike, we intentionally will not make it happen, well, what in the essence spending that money now?
Yeah, but not for a totally perfect election.
Okay. I have told you, Amopita was trying to model up the whole discourse. Nigerians are asking for credible, free, and fair election. We are not mentioning perfection. You should take away perfection from the discourse.
I will plead with you to hold.
Yes.
Now, it will make a whole lot of sense if we not get these over our heads. Now, and you forgive my language on that. Now, I want us to look at some of the reasons that he feels is not going to be that much of a perfect election. Maybe the perfect way I'm saying it is making you really at election. And one that was raised is the issue of logistics. Let's come to that first. Now, logistics have always been a major concern in our election. Just even the last FCT elections, council elections, logistics played a major one in them not starting on time, and will definitely hamper our elections, whether we believe it or not. So let's look at logistics and how that has been a great challenge, and what can we do to get around it.
Mr. Mike, when did he in any way chipped in logistics?
No, he never
Okay.
made mention.
Okay. What was the picture he presented? The picture was that everything will be done well. True or false?
So he said.
Because if he had said there will be a problem, nobody would endorse that.
Of course not.
Yeah?
Of course not.
Good. Then it has come to a time of execution. You are now called logistics. Mike, what is logistics? Nigerians must be very careful. I don't know where we are coming from. Nigeria is not a paradise state. You know, the good thing about it about me, the good thing that I relish is that even as much as we don't want to move forward, other countries within the Community of Nations are moving forward. I applaud them. I love that. So if we say that intentionally, let us remain where we are. Let us remain where we are. But these things we are talking about now that seems to be a Herculean task. This is don't happen in other climes. What is logistics? That money has been voted, that people must be deployed, real time, and you have given a mandate. Get this material to so at a particular time. It's all about deployment.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we cannot achieve that. Who need rocket science? We are not even going to the moon. We are not going to the moon. Some of these things also will require technology. It's all about discipline, commitment to duty, to assigned responsibilities, character of the people, the mindset of the people. So when we are bringing this to national discourse, at times I look at it, I said, does it really worth this time? It doesn't worth lamenting about. So what we should be talking about, it shouldn't creep into the discourse. We shouldn't say logistics will be a problem.
But it has always been.
It's only because we don't want it. And the people responsible don't want it so. The people responsible want it so. Rufai was coming from Egypt and he was intercepted at Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport. You can imagine the committing the zeal with which they wanted to arrest him. Why? They were committed to ensuring that if he had committed error, let him be brought before the courts. Now, can't we, in same manner, if we are pained that we must get our systems right, we should be able, to bring that kind of commitment, bring that kind of attention, patriotism into these works. But if we, tend to trivialize election, because for Nigerians, that election is rigged does not matter to the average Nigerian. That the figures were manipulated, that the battle system was mutilated, and there was a lot of manipulations here and there. To them, it doesn't really mean anything. But in a serious crime, that's happening can never be swept under the carpet because people are conscious of good governance and good livelihood. Here, we are not conscious of good livelihood. Anything they throw at us, we take. No Nigerian man, our standard of living, if you want to go by the analysis, it's nothing to write home about. So, there's a total disconnect there. That Nigerians, don't show much concern about how our electoral system can be totally cleansed off and we get credible persons, manning public offices. So, that is it. If Nigerians are conscious, he wouldn't be saying this. The logistic issue wouldn't be a problem because the people would have shown them red eyes. And when we show them red eyes, they have to fit in. Because they have the capacity, that I'm telling you, it's a case of a people not wanting to do the right thing. They have the capacity to do the right thing.
Commander Emeka Owokocha, I will plead with you, let our eyes not be red on this, but rather let's come to the next issue that he feels would also not cause 100% perfection in the elections. And he disclosed at the commission. Let's be open about this. Now, he disclosed that the commission, during the legislative discourse on the Electoral Act, they requested or pushed for mandatory transmission during those legislative deliberations. And he even went further to talk about all the inputs they had during that elaborate time that the 2022 Electoral Act was amended, or rather being discussed to be amended. Now the new Electoral Act 2020 is as amended and signed into law by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu just only recently. He talked about mandatory transmission. So let it be in the back of the minds of Nigerians that they were always up for mandatory transmission. But, and I'd rather put this but, he also cited the issue of the just concluded FCT by-elections. And he talked about Kuje Ward. Let's go to Kuje Ward itself. We have about 10 wards in Kuje.
Yes.
And we, on that, we take our time to do that. The station is mandated to do that. We also discovered that in one of the wards, Kabi, for example, the result was not transmitted. It was transmitted, but he only got there on Sunday morning. When the election was on Saturday and it was transmitted, but only got there on Sunday morning. Now, is this not enough reason for us not to look at the issue of transmission of results, but in real time, but also making it...
That the way you make a bed, so would you lie on it. Right?
Yeah.
We have advocated, knowingly or unknowingly, the government, when I say we, not... The government has advocated for failure over time. The government, right from 2023, we had same problem at our remote areas, haven't we?
Well, funny enough, this is even the FCT.
Didn't we? We had them. They are saying that to be forewarned is to be forearmed. Is it not? To correct some of these challenges. Was anything done? Nothing was done.
So, sir, how do we do the issue?
The government does not want, what I want to say here,
adequacy of network.
what I'm saying here is that they had created a situation beforehand for the system not to be thorough and clean. So he's citing Abuja Kuje that there was no network in the 21st century. I think we should be mindful of ourselves. I think international community should be laughing at this country. A country that is largest producer of crude oil, largest producer of gas, so richly endowed
On the continent.
on the continent. We are talking about a community within Abuja not having a network. We are same people, but if we were saner people, most of them there that are taking us to the lodge will not be there. Because it is a mess, it's a shame to me that I will travel to this country, maybe I have, intercontinental discourse at my capacity. People are looking at me as, well schooled, well knowledgeable, well experienced, well whatever. I'll be saying that in the capital, that network, I'm mentioning network. Hey, no network, you cannot transmit a result from a locality in Abuja. So, are we telling ourselves that we have accepted failure as a people? So, the government, the onus lies on them. They have made the system remain so that electoral system cannot be thorough and clean.
Well, that would be too large.
See. Not the allegation there is it. Mr. Mike, allow me to learn. Just one statement.
Pipe down.
Just one statement.
Okay, go ahead.
Mr. Mike, just one statement. Let us not trivialize governance in this country. Mr. Mike, let us not, it's a warning, let us not trivialize governance. All the errors, all the harm that will have been put through is a result of the fact that, people, thorough men, clean men, are not within public office.
This is an issue of the NCC.
Who is NCC?
Well,
the acronym. Thank God. Is Nigeria Nigerian Commission.
Since and if adequacy of network cannot be.
I want to tell you something. You mean the government before now does not know that some remote areas does not have a good network? Hey, Mr. Mike. No, okay, let me tell you something that will shock you. Kenya does streaming of election in any part of the country. Let us see the discussion. Kenya does live streaming. Nigeria cannot transmit results from polling unit in the 21st century. When smaller countries within the what is it called?
Sub-region.
The sub-region.
You see why we must speak true to fact, is that we must not pet these wrongs. We must tell ourselves that we are ready to move on like other nations are moving. Network shouldn't be an issue. Mr. Mike, these things are fixable, are doable. They are repairable. It's getting the platforms and getting the equipment and getting the right personnel and put them to work and let it work. They were there in National Assembly here, and flattened our hopes just about 2 weeks ago by removing, undermine and alter
The whole process.
the whole process. So that is going to be challenged. But if INEC, should be proactive, if INEC should be worried and to be troubled, I want to see INEC now deploying mechanisms to check all that. I'm talking about now. So what Abu Peter is talking about now, for me, I thought on that particular day, he should be telling Nigerians how you'll be able to tackle
Some of these issues.
these issues, these inherent challenges. The measures I'm going to apply, you should be speaking from his heart. Let us see a man who is going to bring about a change. Because I don't even see him bothered, worried. Mr. Mine, if I were made the electoral chairman, Mr. Mine, I would like myself to be somebody who is being stuck by the bee, unstable. Right? When I'll be talking, to my audience, I'll be telling them that as if I could automatically, spiritually or physically, change the whole system with a snap of the finger. Not giving Nigerians, not dampening the hope of Nigerians. Because that office is holy, is so sensitive. If he begins to speak, to bring in negativity into that office at this time, now, when the real deal hasn't started. So what are you talking about? That's why I'm telling him that he must check his words. Okay. Such words shouldn't come from the personality called Professor Joash Amubuta, who is the chairman of the INEC.
Okay, now I'll play you. We've looked at two major issues, but there's one issue that many feel if we are really to inspire for public confidence and producing candidates for these elections that Nigerians will be vying or rather will be voting for. Now, let's look at them also, because we seem to be talking about the electoral umpires, we seem to be talking about the voters, we seem to even be talking about the politicians, but we're not talking about the political parties. Now, how really important is it that for a free, credible and fair elections, that same process should take place during their party primaries? The timetable is finally out.
Yes.
Political activities has kick-started. So how really important is true democratic norms being witnessed, being practiced in these political parties in the emergence of their candidates?
Okay. Internal democracy.
So
which is apparently non-existent across the political divide in Nigeria. It's apparently
why are you making it sound so
Mike Ray, let me be factual here.
Yes.
You see this we are preaching here. It's supposed to be the preachment of the political leaders within their parties. It ought to be the preachment now. Because what I'm saying here is what will sustain the Nigerian sovereignty.
Yeah.
What you and I are discussing here. But does this pop up in their mind? Do they believe in this sermon? They don't believe in the sermon. All what the political parties believe is how, to upturn the system for their own gains. They can do anything to secure winning. They don't believe in credible election. All of them.
Would that be fair to say?
That's what I'm telling you. Now, that's what I'm telling you.
Would that be fair to say? Because we saw some movement during the 2023 elections. We saw how. Yeah, come on. Would that be fair on all the political parties to say that they do not believe when they will spend billions and billions of naira wanting to actualize that?
Mr. Mike, the error cut across board, the corruption cut across board, the inducement cut across board. It is when the party is at rigged, they start shouting. There's no party that does not indulge in electoral malpractices in this country. It is my opinion and I stand by it. No party. When you are at rigged, you see them coming to shout. We do not believe, I told you,
this thing you and I are discussing here is supposed to be the same one within the political party. Reconscientize their members. Tell them we believe in ideology. Tell them you should wear the principle of credible and fair election on your tongue. And once you're able to indoctrinate them, you're able to teach them, to conscientize them, to sensitize them. That is what they're going to practice in the open. But no one preaches this. Haven't you heard? There's a particular language they use. Deliver your area, or deliver your word, or deliver your polling unit. I want to ask you, you have been reading through the political whatever, literatures. Have you come across anywhere they say, deliver a polling unit? It is a Nigerian construct into the political system, you know, to harm the system, to thwart the system, to subvert the system, to sabotage the system. It is our own construct, concocted through our evil machinations. Deliver your vote, deliver your word, deliver your state. Where does it? Don't you know what's called deliver? They will beat their chest. I will deliver my polling unit. What does that translate to? Either by hook or crook. So, right from the political parties, they have started practicing how to subvert the system. So, it is a systemic error. That's why I told you that the government must be upright. The INEC must be upright. And the uprightness of INEC is upright. Everybody.
Okay.
We what? We maintain a line. So but when they know that it is business as usual.
All you are saying, the political parties should do more.
They should do
transparency during the election.
Mr. Mike, am I the one to tell them the principles upon which political parties are formed? Ideologies. What's ideologies? Ideologies is more or less like a sermon that promotes sincerity, transparency, patriotism, credibility, integrity, free and fair election. All I have mentioned are the fundamentals or those principles that form political parties. If truly, true to type, that this is actually what our political parties present, you won't be seeing all this rubbish. But that is the truth. But they know. But in the Nigerian context, in the Nigerian own system, like I did tell you some time ago, so unless we want to write, a book about our own democracy, a Nigerian self-styled democracy, because if we are bringing to play the global.
What will be Nigerians' expectation? Mopiton has told us, guys, please, your expectations should not be too high, so it does not to expect too much. What is our expectations, especially from the electoral umpire?
The good thing about it is that not many Nigerians saw or listened or heard what Joash Amopita said. You know, the Nigeria, let me tell you, most of us don't watch televisions. Most of us don't listen to read. We don't read newspapers. Even when we are very, very much used to these paths. You know, what we go for most times has nothing to do with sourcing information that will enrich yourself. So, but having said that, like I do tell you, the man who is harmed will always want a reprieve, a relief.
Of course.
So we are harmed.
Or is seek for justice.
Yes, we are harmed our political culture over time. And sincerely, Nigerians want, to be relieved of the pains that this convoluted political system has cost us over time. Yeah. That has always been our expectation. Yeah. So I think the expectation is that INEC should please answer the name Independent National Electoral Commission. Answer the name, replicate the name, and run with the name, and be committed to doing what is good, so that at least, even if we will not get it totally right,
100%,
not 100%,
if okay,
totally right, let us move from where we are. Let us be seeing us moving towards the progressive path. Because where we are, instead of gaining, we are retrogressing. So we want to see us moving so that our hopes will be allayed. So we can say now, within the next electoral process, we would have gotten it right. Because we must get it right. Right? For a Nigeria to stand as a nation, we must get it right. But if we don't get it right through our electoral process, we will still remain where we are and come.
Okay, well, anyway, I feel we've come